John Osborne here. Let's do the FX educational outlook for June 19th, 2017. We'll start out by looking at the Euro Pound. You can see we're watching this pennant pattern on the 240, and we've been running along this very, very old line that is from way back at these 2 points. It's just a little bit muddy here. We could draw a more recent line by drawing from this point up through these pivots, and that's probably a little bit fresher, and you can see that we're walking along those lines. But regardless, I would still like to see us break above this 0.87832 to go higher, and we continue to be bullish even though we're getting this little bit of a pullback. This consolidation pullback here is a potential opportunity to get in. At that point, our first target then would be this previous pivot. For the US dollar Swissy, you can see we've broken the similar line here. This is the consolidation trend line that comes across these previous two pivots, and we're moving up towards the 0.97702 as a target. We take profits before we hit that line. The movement on the Kiwi yen has been really good. It's been moving up the last few days as we were anticipating, and you can see we've gone up and potentially putting in a new entry here, but we need to have the couple more bars that create this, identify this as a pivot before we get the re-entry point. Also be wary of, on the weekly chart, we've got this previous trend line that we have across here, which is potentially limiting how much we can continue to rise higher. For the Aussie yen, similarly, we are breaking above the previous pivot, which was 84.804 from this pivot here. It has been broken, but so far we haven't closed above it. So watch for a potential entry to go higher. But keep in mind, this is a pretty good run up here, and it's going to be a little tricky to try to get through some of this resistance here. We've already broken it, but it might come back down to at least retest that. So let's see what happens. For the Aussie US dollar and the pending bullish, we're watching for a break above this consolidation trend line at 0.76257 to go long potentially. And the dollar yen, it's moving up nicely. We're approaching this previous pivot right here, which is at the 111.703 peak, and it needs to break that to head to this new pivot, and then we'll have a nice break there. But this is still coming up on this daily consolidation line break right here, so it's just playing out as expected. So a nice move. We're actually going to change that one to just bullish now. So I'll just slide that up there, and we'll look at the pound yen. It's broken through this line, although this line has been broken a few times here. This time we broke it with a little bit more strength, and it's a little more convincing. But now we're in a bit of a consolidation channel. So I'm going to leave this one into pending bullish and watch to see if we can break above this previous pivot here at 142.327, and then we'll be watching to see if we can get above 142.757. On the other side of the coin, in the bearish markets, we can see that we are still bearish in the pound loonie, and I was watching for this previous pivot break here. We got that. This is the consolidation trend line to take on the resumption of the downtrend. Right now I'd like to see us continue lower and break down through this previous pivot here about 1.67845. So I'll be watching for a break to go lower there. You can see the consolidation we had after this 2-day drop that we had. It was a nice drop. For the Euro CAD, we've already broken the support line here. I'm going to adjust this down just a hair to incorporate this previous pivot, and you can see we went up and retested it, and now we're starting to move lower even though we've got this upwards movement here. I'm a little worried that we've got a bit of a divergence here with a lower low but a higher high on our signal line here, and momentum is a little bit stronger than it was in the previous pivot, but this is a little bit troublesome. But we look really bearish still on our daily. Just watch this trending, this line here on our weekly. We're kind of getting close to that, or we'll be pretty soon. That's down around 1.46352. And finally, in the pending bearish area, we've got the Euro US dollar, and you can see that we are breaking through there, retested it, and then watch to see if we can go a little bit lower here. First target will be about 1.11379. Just keep an eye on this 1.11088, which is a previous daily pivot. So right here and also here. And that'll do it for today. Make sure that you subscribe to follow and get notified whenever I publish the next edition of the Forex Outlook, and also you can look at the previous videos by clicking on the link in the upper left. Until next time, have a great rest of your day.